All right, guys, we're live. Okay, so did one of these last year, especially like early on in the season. A lot of people have watched the first couple games. I've had a chance to just kind of chill for a little bit after a crazy content season that we had where we were throwing out a video every single day to get some time to chill, watch some hockey, have actually a couple drafts. I think for the first like 15 to 20 minutes, I want to go over my FPBL team. Just to, because I don't think I really had enough. Like, I really liked Mike's POV of him drafting in Division 1. I thought that was a super cool content idea. He killed it. He did a really good job. So I wanted to take some time to kind of like walk through my picks and get some of your guys' takes. Most of you did see the stream go live. I'm actually going to pull that up. And I think it was Noah that that was reacting. Or FP Sven. But let's see. Where was it? It was pretty early on. But then we'll get to some of your guys' questions. Because I do want to take some time to obviously go through. I think I was central there. All right, let's do this. Let's see if this works. If we go theater mode, can you see it? No. Is it because this is cut off? Okay. Yeah, I'll just cut myself out. That's fine. Excited to hear your takes. You having opinions on Shea Theodore. So I did draft him, and he's definitely a player that I want to talk about. Because I know a lot of Elias Lindholm is elite. Okay, Carl. Okay. Well, let me just run through this, and then we'll get to some of your guys' questions, because this stream is about you, but I did want to take some time to kind of talk my way through some of the FPPL drafts now, just as a whole, and do a little review. So round one, Draisaitl at the 3 spot. I don't really think I did consider Cooch. I did consider Austin Matthews. So I think he would be the only other forward that I would take in that spot. I like Makar a lot, but I don't think taking him that early was fine. Jake Gensel, Braden Point. So already something that I want to talk about here, and that I'm starting to notice, especially like looking at this draft as a whole, was I didn't really get a lot of peripherals. Jake Gensel is a really high, like pretty safe goal guy. Same with Braden Point, like two very safe players. Don't get me wrong. Coincidentally, both played on Tampa Bay, which again was unintentional. Like I didn't draft them thinking that it would be a stack. Kempe in round 4, who actually end up trading, was like, okay, like I realized early on that I don't have a lot of peripherals between these three of my high end guys. Let me get some here. And then just the D is just crazy. Like getting Thomas Harley as my D1 is obviously not ideal, right? Like Thomas Harley should be like your D2 or your D3, ideally, in a perfect draft, right? So getting him as your D1, but that's FPPL. And I was aware that it could be the case, but obviously with him not being on power play 1 right now, I'm not too worried at the moment. So, again, it's early on in the season. Things change. I believe in the talent of Thomas Harley. I think he's going to be perfectly fine. Not worried about the power play 1 just yet. I anticipate that they're going to rotate them throughout the season. Until anything else happens, we're assuming right now Harley's on power play 2. So already off to a tough start on the D spot. Lucas Raymond then at the 6'10", I feel like is just great value. Like I was going to go Timo Meier here. Who else was I considering? I was hoping Bedard would fall to me, but unfortunately he didn't. I took a look at Ehlers. I took a look at Fiala, and I was like, I like the upside a lot more with Lucas Raymond, so I snagged him. Mackenzie Blackwood into the round 7, I felt was really good value. Svech kind of buffed up my peripherals a little bit in that sense. We know how good he is peripheral-wise. Matt Barzal in round 9, I still think is really good value. And then I go Buium, and then later on, if Noah scrolls down here, Cooley is great in round 11. I was happy with that pick. Swayman is good value. Ekblad, Logan Thompson, Schaefer, and then so on and so forth. I just end up grabbing most of my D in the kind of like last 5 rounds. which is obviously never a good thing. So early on, what I did, and this is something that you guys can take away from this, is early on, I quickly identified that my defense is not good enough, right? My D1 is Thomas Harley. So what do? I go out and I want to find a D1. I want to find a defenseman one. So I trade for Rasmus Dahlin. And I give up Mackenzie Blackwood. And I gave up, it was Blackwood. It was Kempe in round 4. And then I also, who else did I give up? I think it was Devin Taves. So it was Kempe, Taves, Mackenzie Blackwood, and I got Rasmus Dahlin, Adam Fantilli, and Sam Montembeault. So I still get a volume goalie back. I get the D1 that I want. And then I get a player that I'm pretty high on, but again, has some limitations. So again, important takeaway for you guys here is that if you identify what your weaknesses are early enough, you can start trading right now. Like, you guys know who we're high on. You guys know that we like Dahlin a lot. You guys know who your D1s are that you should be targeting, right? So I think that was really the only thing that I felt like could have been different in my draft. So I went and changed that. Okay, so that's my draft as a whole. So let's get into some of your guys' questions now. Enough about me. I just wanted to kind of go over. What we can do, guys. Actually, is if you go into Discord, for those of you that are in Hall of Fame Premium, if you guys want a team review, throw your team in here. For those of you that are in All-Star Premium, under Fantasy Questions, throw your team in here. And then for those of you that are in Tier 1, which is free, throw your team into Rate My Team, and I'll see how many I can get through. I'm going to get through as many as possible within the next 50 minutes. All right, 6:50 hard cutoff. I'm going to catch up with some questions here, and we'll do that. Okay? I'll start with Hall of Fame Premium. I'll give you guys a couple minutes. I'll catch up with some questions, and then we'll do that. All right? Easy. Because I do want to provide a lot of value for you guys in the stream. All right. So let's see. Starting off, if you have any opinions on Shea Theodore, I'd love to hear them. Head-to-head Catsley with hits, blocks. Okay. Value feels really low without power play 1. I would wait a little bit on Shea Theodore. I think they're going to give the 5-man power play a run for its money. I think that, if anything, they're going to go with that until they don't start seeing success. And it's very possible they just run the whole season like that. So it's not great for Shea Theodore owners. And they didn't get a lot of power play time in game 1 at all for a ton of power plays that were there. Like, they didn't see a lot of ice. So that concerns me a lot. I would wait and see how he is at 5-on-5, because he's still a pretty proficient offensive defenseman. And then if you're really unhappy with, like, if he's your D1 right now, like, you're a little bit worried, right? So it's very touch and go. Very, very touch and go right now. What else? Hold for Parekh right now. Guys, I'm holding on Zane Parekh. Mike is in a bit of a panic. He has Parekh in Div 1. And he's like, dude, if he's a healthy scratch for tonight, then he's going to drop. Which is fine. Like, I get it. It's like, you don't want to have a healthy scratch on your roster. Completely understand. I'm of the mindset that if you drafted this guy for the upside, you want to see what he's like when he gets to that role, right? So look at Lane Hudson last year. Lane Hudson was not in a power play 1 role until half the season. It was over, right? It's going to take some time. How lenient you are with these, how patient you are is one thing. I get it, though, if he's a healthy scratch. If he's like a healthy scratch and they're trying to extend the 9 games as much as possible, I get it. You can drop him at that point, because I think at that point he is drop worthy. But I'm going to try and employ a little bit of patience here, as I suggest all of you do as well with a lot of your players. If you don't see a lot of success within the first couple weeks here, it is okay, guys. You draft these players for a reason. Be confident in them. Elias Lindholm is elite. That's hilarious. He was very good last game. Guillermo Renzel in Cats leagues. I like Buium still. I think that power play is just outright better. I regret taking Crosby over Keller in the league that I'm in. Theo, I think you're fine. Crosby's super safe. Who would you rather drop in a points league between Geeky, Lindholm, Jenner, or Norris? Probably Lindholm. Lindholm or Geeky, one of the two. Should I keep Meyer or trade him as he's on a power play too? I like Timo Meyer at his floor. That's why you drafted him in round 9, 10 this year instead of drafting him round 4 or 5, like we saw last year. You're drafting him at his floor. Anything he does better than, last year is a plus, right? Like, you didn't draft him early on because of the upside. You're now drafting him, guys like Jeek, guys like Trocheck for their floor. So I'm totally fine on holding on to Timo Meyer. I think he's going to be great this season. Would you rather having a peripherals guy in a points league? Is it because of floor? Yes. So Carl, exactly. So you want, there are players that are going to be, I think Kent Johnson's a great example of this, right? It's like Kent Johnson could be a 75-point player this year, but the times where he doesn't score or where he doesn't get a point, he's not doing much else, right? He's not gonna get you much when he's not scoring. And there will be nights and weeks that he just goes through a cold spell, and there will be nights and weeks where he's hotter. So the idea is that you get these players that have, good point totals, but then will get you 250 plus shots and 100 hits. Guys like JT Miller, right? It's like guys that are always contributing. It doesn't matter if your team gets shut out or not, he's still getting you points. Which is why Brady Tkachuk scales so well in FPPL, because we count hits, and Brady hits a ton. I'm new to fantasy hockey. Also, I don't know player value well. Out of these two players, which one do you prefer, and is there a big difference? Thanks. Rotoleague. Not so silent. You didn't post who the players are. So let me know who those players are. Nate Dobb puncturing myself for not picking Dorofeev. Guys, it's one game. I think Dorofeev could honestly score 40 plus, which is why you draft him, and he's got a great shot volume. But it's still just one game. Any takes for beating FP Sven? It's impossible to beat any FP players. We're the best in the world. I don't know. That's like saying, how do I just win my league, right? How do I feel about Demko this season? I want to see the volume split. I think if he's healthy, he's going to be great. Need some help in an 18 Cats Bangers League. Matthew, if you want to... Okay, you posted there. Okay. Should I trade Theodore for Byfield? I think you could probably do better. I think people are panicking right now on Shea Theodore. I understand why. He's not seeing power play one time. They've gone to a 5-man power play or 5-forward power play now with Mitch Marner. I get it. I think let's just wait and see how this pans out. We're overreacting to one game. What if you're in a Cats league? Peripheral players are great in Cats leagues. Astro. Start to tonight, Buium, Harley, Nikishin. I go Buium, Harley. What is a Bangers League? A Bangers League is a league that typically counts things like blocks and hits. Some of them count penalty minutes. It's an easy way of identifying that there are hits and blocks in your league. I'm pumped to watch my Kaprizov Buium stack tonight. Dude, there's a lot of hockey on tonight. I'm pumped. I'm so excited. It's the first full slate. Damn, there's an FP party going on. What's up, Tristan? How are you, man? Hey, Chris. Velarde, Tippett, Kreider in a Bangers Cats League. If you could pick one, who would it be? I think Tippett. I think the shot volume and the hit volume, and he's top 6 this year, and he's power play 1, it seems like, to start out of the gate. Owen Tippett is definitely something that I'm trying to target early on in drafts before his value gets insane. If not, I would keep Tippett over Kreider and Velarde. Are we not allowed to pick up players and drop them to allow others to stream in the week of FPPL? AJ, it is. There is no unwritten rules. It is you do everything you possibly can to win each week. Stream as many players as you want. Utilize the ads and the drops. There's no unsportsmanlike. I've never heard of that, actually. That's crazy. How do you gain access to the Discord channel? There should be a link in the description, TCal. If there's anyone on the FP side that's watching stream right now, actually, you know what? I'll link it right now. I will link it right now in V. There is a link to join the Discord for you right there in the chat. Cooley or Barzell? Barzell. In a points league, absolutely Barzell. I have several experienced fantasy football guys. We're getting into fantasy hockey this year. Do you recommend roto or head-to-head? I love head-to-head personally. Not so silent. I think it's just like more competitive. Who should I drop? Kadri, Jeek, or Demidov for a left-wing banger cat matchup? Looking at picking up Cooley, Bushnevich, Eklund, Tippett, Barbashev. I have them right now. Kachuk and Hyman. I would probably, in a bangers cats, if it's not a keeper, you can probably drop Demidov and pick up Cooley or Tippett. But I want to wait and see how, if Demidov could be like a 70-point player. So in which case, I'd rather just wait. I would just wait for right now, Matthew. If there's a lot of options like that on your waiver wire, you can afford to just wait and see what Demidov is. Standard head-to-head point league, bench one forward and one D-man tonight. Hudson, Seth Jones, Buiam, Nichushkin, Bushnevich, Barbashev. I would probably bench... you can probably bench one of Bushnevich or Barbashev. And I think you can bench Buiam because I'd probably want Seth Jones and Lane Hudson in. Feel like I made a good move by adding Scott Wedgwood. Yeah, it's a great move. Yeah. Scott Wedgwood's got a ton of value until Blackwood comes back, but Blackwood is skating. Sorry about that. My players are... Oh, hold on. I'm in a 14, have 2 goalies. They're Carvel Melk and John Gibson. Is good enough. If you're in a 14-team league, yeah, you're fine. I'd probably try and look to add or stream a goalie as a backup on a week-to-week basis, but we'll see what Gibson is, but I like Vamelka a lot this year. Alex Tug versus JJ Peterka. Okay, Anthony. I probably would go... What was your question? Are these two players which would you prefer? I would probably grab Tuck. Should be line 1 in buff. Both team Cats, goals, assists, power play points, shots, assists, and blocks, wins, goals against average save percentage. 16 team Tuck, Darlene Nietzsche's, blah, 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 blah. 16 team, you have Cooch, Darlene Nietzsche's, Hedman, Jar. Your team's disgusting. In a 16 team league, your team's nasty. Dylan Holloway, is he worth starting over guys like Monahan and Lehkonen? Not right now. I would probably have him on the bench to start. It's because he's not getting any power play time. Or power play 1 time. Team 2, 14 team, 8 keeper, 10-year reset. Kaprizov, Warinsky, Stutzel, Kachuk, Nietzsche, Morrissey. Your team's disgusting. High crits, Cats League, goals, power play, goals and assists. Sider, Dolly, and Sanderson. Fox, looking to trade one of them for strength in my forwards. Was thinking of trying to move Fox or Robertson. I would move Fox for sure. I think the peripherals that Sider, Darlene, and Sanderson have are just too valuable. Thoughts on Pasta? Gauthier for Matthews, Bangers Cats. Bangers Cats. Depends on your centers, I think, Jaquez. If you have really strong centermen, you got to remember Matthews is going to take away from that, and Pasta plays a premium position at right wing. Guy with a robo desperately needs D. Who are your Timmy's picks today? I actually didn't do them today, Stevens. I was thinking about picking it up this year. I did it 1 year ago. Thoughts on Jacob Chikrin now that you think he'll do this year? I think he'll be he wasn't. There was times where he was skating at power play 2. I think he's a better peripheral guy than John Carlson, better shot volume, more goal upside. So I think you should expect a similar season to last year. And I don't think anything should really change with that team. What do you think about Lekkonen's start? They had a really good game. I'm not looking into one game and being super panicked about anything. Lekkonen versus Raquel, who'd you start for tonight? I would start Lekkonen. Should be skating line 1. I went the 0G route and ended up with Thompson and Skinner. How screwed am I? You're not screwed at all. Jalen, so you're not screwed at all. Are we hold on Nuke or should I look to trade him? No, just hold on him. You're good. Nichushkin, guys, it's one game. It is one game. If you're asking yourself, is this guy a bust after one game? Take a step back, breathe, understand that you're going to, like, I don't like to really make decisions on players when it comes to dropping, when it comes to like trying to trade away until probably like game 20, maybe 15 to 20 range. I have a good understanding of what I have on my team and what I need to address. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not playing the waiver wire and picking up, like, perfect example. Somebody made a trade in my Bangers Cats League, dropped Marco Rossi, and I had Morgan Frost on my team, and I quickly just snatched up Marco Rossi. Thoughts on Stamkos? I love him. I think he's good for a bounce back. How long before Edmonton starts Ingram? It'll take some time. Like, Stuart Skinner really has to, like, implode. What do you think about no rookie in camp? What's his name? It starts with a G. It's like Gooden. I'm probably butchering his name completely. I know exactly who you're talking about, though. Had 5 shots. He's on our watch list. He's on our early watch list. Nazar versus Elias Lindholm, FPL settings, Nazar. So excited for Gunther's here. This season's same, Ryan. Same. Sit one tonight, Kadri, Zib, Jeek, Velarde. I would sit Velarde. Maybe Kadri. Because they're on a back-to-back. Skinner practically scored himself. Yeah, I saw that. Should I look to trade Meyer? No. If you're D1 and 2 or Winsky and Sergachev, you're solid. Monahan, Wright, or Colton, start one. Monahan. Okay, let's get into some teams. Stickster, what do you got? Goal assists, power play points, shots, shorthanded points, shots, hits, blocks, wins, save percentage, shutouts. Does this look right? Tough to decide with stacked team. Yeah, guys, if you have like ridiculously stacked teams, like, I don't think you really need to post them, but Jack Hughes, Nathan McKinnon, like you have Hughes, McKinnon, Forsberg, Gensel, Bratt. Your defense is completely stacked. And you have Sergachev and Genther and Seth Sharp. Your team should be disgusting. I would probably see if you could swing a trade with Adam Fox. Oh my God, you have Rantanen too? Is it categories or points? If it's cats, I'm assuming it's cats because you have like, I would try and swing a Fox for like a cider. Do like Fox plus, I don't know, like you really don't have any bad forwards, like maybe DeBrincat. And then maybe take one of your goalies, Kemper and Hill, and like do the same thing. Like you could attach Jarvis and maybe go for like a Vasilevsky. And then at that point, there's no reason why you should lose. Okay. Back to rate my teams. We'll run through some of these. God, you guys have flooded this already. That was at 6:07. How long? Holy guys. All right, let's start with this one. I don't even know if we're starting with this one. Petty, Robert Thomas, Hurdle, Kaprizov, Donato, Marchenko, D'Angelo, Yossi, Montour. Okay, you have Jake Sanderson, Misa, Nylander, Doughty, Schneider. You probably don't need that many defensemen. If it's same scoring as FPPL, you're probably good with 5D. So if it's same scoring as FPPL, I would actually pick up a third goalie. You have Perfetti and Hyman as well. Yeah. Yeah, I think you can drop Schneider. I think you can pick up another forward. We'll see what Misa is. You might need to drop him as well, too, if he goes back. But I think you can afford to drop Schneider. 14-man league, goals, assists, power play points, shorthanded points, shots, hits, blocks. Tenders are wins, goals against, save percentage, shutouts. Your goaltending is okay. See about Skinner, see about Gibbs. Like they're just not like guaranteed guys. Your forwards, however, Thomas, Barzal, Keller, Forsberg, Marchenko, Pastrnak, like they're disgusting. Like you don't need to. Your team is disgusting. I would probably. Is there only 3 D spots? I'm seeing Seider, Uyghur, Bouillon. If there's only 3 D spots, definitely grab another defenseman. Like you could drop a Cooley or Cousins and pick up another D. And then maybe swing a trade for a much better goalie. Like you could move Barzal, you could move Robert Thomas, you could move Adam Fantilli and see if you can upgrade. Even like I would start with Korpisalo, and then if not, I would start and then I would go Gibson. Skinner should still see a lot of volume early, so I think you're fine there. But thoughts on Parekh? I'm chilling on him, guys. Like if you can afford to hold on to him, I know he was a healthy scratch last game. I think the only reason why was because they were playing the Oilers. I think you're good. Traders went down. Celebrini in a 10th for JT Miller in a 3rd. I think it's obvious who got fleeced. Yeah. How much do you calculate playoff schedule when drafting? I normally don't, AJ. Like, playoff schedule isn't really something I worry about until trade deadline. Like, I'm not going out of my way to draft players just because they have a really good playoff schedule this year. And I think that takes away from you potentially drafting players that you like just simply based off schedule. Wedgwood or Anderson in net tonight? Wedgwood. Oh, Freddie? Oh, Freddie Anderson for sure. Yeah, Carolina's going to be nasty this year. What advice would you give to Parekh owners in FPPL? Relax, chill, wait. I'm holding him. In my $100 buy-in league, I'm holding him. It's game 1, guys. It's one game. Like, what happens if he plays tonight is on power play 1? And you've dropped him. Right? Give it like a 10 to 15 game sample first before you make a decision. Because remember, like Lane Hudson didn't come to fruition until he started on power play 1 at the end of last season, right? Then he popped off because he was getting that opportunity. Okay. What else we got? Dylan Larkin, Jeek, Forsberg, Kaprizov, Genther, Raquel. Really good forwards. Pionk, Seider, Jarvis, Lehkonen, Barzal, Sandheim, McCann, Igor, Nedeljkovic. How many teams? You must be in a crazy deep league, swoosh. But I mean, like, your forwards are really strong. Guys, make sure that, like, there's no way there's only 2 defensemen here. Make sure that your screenshots are not complete ass. Your D does need work. If you have, I can't really review it. You have a ton of forwards. You have Sandheim here. Duchesne, I'm not huge on this year. See if you can upgrade your goaltending. That's my only concern, really. Team 1, 12-man points league. And then I have all the scoring in front of me. See, guys, if you want team reviews, this is the way to do it. Outline everything like that. Because in that way I can say, okay, 12-man, I can get a sense of who's going to be on a waiver wire. I can already see that power play goals and assists are split. Power play points are also. So, like, if you score on the power play, you get an extra point too. The goals are worth more than assists. There's face-offs involved. There's shots. There's a ton of insane amount of categories here. But it does skew very forward heavy. because blocks and hits actually aren't worth too much. So it's very power play skewed, and it's very like special teams and game winning goal. So you want shooters, and that's exactly what you've done here. You've got McKinnon, Thompson, Connor, Patterson, Konechny, Jarvis, Fox, Sergachev, Jones, Tony DeAngelo, Stone, G. Yeah, like you don't need to send this into review. Your team's disgusting. Your goaltending, however, is awful. I'm curious to see what happens with Jed Greaves this year. I have Joey Daccord in one of, I think it's, I think I got him in the Creators League, and it's very volume based. But I'm assuming like these 4 categories, I would see if you can upgrade one of your goalies. Like I would move, if Fox is your power play one, yeah. So Fox is your first D. Like Mark Stone had a really hot start, so I would look to move him. I would look to move like a Konechny depending on what you're getting back, but definitely see if you can upgrade your goaltending and make yourself a little bit more well-rounded. 8-man point league. Caulfield, Miller. Okay, so you went Makar, Uyghur, Theodore. Again, like guys, is there 3 defensemen? I can't tell. Is it Uyghur, Theodore, or Ghost? Oh, it's Uyghur, Theodore, Ghost, Makar. Your forwards are good. I like a lot of your forwards. And you got Kaprizov and Makar somehow. I guess it's an 8-man league, so. Yeah, goaltending is where you could improve for sure. But I think for the most part, your team's very good. You could, again, move any of these lower pieces, like a Ken Johnson, like a Barzell, Rupe Hintz, Gabe Verhage is already off to a hot start, so use that. I think you could also upgrade one of Theodore and Ghost. Like maybe package Theodore with somebody and go after like another top end defenseman. 12-man at 3 goal, 2 assists, power play point, shot, block. Okay, let me go over this one, then I'll read some more comments. Ehlers, Guenther, Konechny, Rossi, Gabe, Rantanen. This is 12-man, right? Werenski, Matthews. Okay, so you went Matthews, you got Kachuk, you have Blackwood, Stolars. That's a good goalie combo. Your D, you have Dahlin, Buium, Anderson, Dunn, Werenski. Okay, so you have 5 D spots and only 3 bench. Rantanen, yeah. So you definitely like your team's pretty well rounded. I'm actually okay with this team. I think you should do well. Yeah, especially with your goaltending, like you'll be fine. Like just I wouldn't be married to Sandheim or Kreider, but keep an eye on the waiver wire. Your team's solid. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, questions in the chat. Guys, so I pull the trigger on this. I need left wing. It'll weaken my defense a bit. I get Boldy and Robert Thomas. I give up Erik Karlsson, Dylan Holloway, and Matthew Tkachuk. I would try and do less, Lucas, especially if it's a redraft. It might just be worth to like take Erik Karlsson, take Dylan Holloway out of the deal, and just target Boldy. Right? So if you're trying to do you could do like a Matthew Tkachuk and do like Matty Tkachuk for like Boldy and then like another like kind of lower tier forward, I would consider that. But try and do less. So I don't think you need to change the entire mix-up of your team. Start Renzel or Fowler today? Who did the Blues play? There's a lot of games on tonight. The Blues play Minnesota. And Chicago plays Boston. I would probably go Rinzel. He's been shooting the puck a lot. I go Rinzel. Got to sit one tonight. Freddie Anderson, Binner, Gibson. I would sit Gibson. Who does Detroit play? Montreal? Montreal's on a back-to-back. I would sit Binnington in that case, because Montreal's on a back-to-back. Love your channel. Watch you weekly. Thank you, Hayden. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you as always. You have McAvoy, swoosh. I have Markstrom, Anderson, and Wedgwood. How do you handle two goalies are playing each other? I like, if both my goalies are playing each other, I love it because it guarantees me a win. Unless it's like, you know, in this case where it's like Markstrom's playing Freddie tonight. Unless you're just really keen on one of those teams. Love all the Young Gun appearances out of nowhere. Who are you predicting is a surprise point getter, Young Gun, a player off the radar, so much talent this year? Off the radar. You know, it's not a cop-out, but I think we're undervaluing, or we didn't talk as much about Matthew Schaefer. Like, just seeing some of the stuff in camp, like, this guy is, he's going to be a Miro Heiskanen in this league. He's going to just skate like the absolute wind across the entire ice, be involved in everything. I think they're going to play him a ton early on, and I do think there's a legitimate chance that he steals power play 1 from Tony D. So I don't think we talked enough about him just based off like his skill. And I think there's an opportunity for him to be like an impactful defenseman like right out of the gate. Outside of that, I don't know. We kind of highlighted all of our favorite picks. Is it bold to drop Ken Johnson for Zane Parak in a 12-man? Depends on your D, Corman or Cornman. I would wait. I would hold on Ken Johnson. I think Ken Johnson's safer than Parekh is right now. Drop Sanheim for Ekblad? Yes. Ekblad's currently on power play 1. Sam Bennett, Tage, Pasta, Kyle Connor, Ehlers, Michkov, Sergachev, Nikishin, Schmaltz, Kevin Fiala, Kopitar, Will Smith. Only 3D. So you have Sergachev, Nikishin, Yossi. Yeah, that's a good team. You're fine. All right, let me get through this. 10-man FPL scoring, drafted 9th, Brady, Petty, Forsberg, Fiala, pass. Your team's disgusting, dude. Like, you don't need a review on this. Your team is nasty. People keep cutting off. Oh no, it's just split into 2. Yossi, Uyghur, Seider is very, very safe. Theodore is fine to have as your 4th defenseman right now, and you've got Dorofeyev, so you're chilling. You probably want to get this guy in your lineup as soon as possible. In which case, you can't really drop anyone. That's the issue. And you're in a 10-man. That's tough. I might drop. Oh, I really don't want to drop William this early. I think you sit or try and make a trade. It feels horrible to have Dorofeyev on your IR plus right now. But I don't think there's anybody here that I want to drop just yet. So you're kind of just stuck. Unless you can make a deal. Which you probably can't now because he's no longer day-to-day and Yahoo doesn't let you make trades. So it might be Trocheck or Jeek. I don't know. Your team's just so good. There's not really anybody for you to drop. Maybe Zib. Do you count positions? Yeah, see, I want the center right wing at that point. I would probably drop Trocheck for... Actually, you know what? Just sit. Just wait. See who struggles and then make a decision based off that. Your team's disgusting either way. You should be fine either way. McKinnon, Nylander, Otter, you kept. Fox, Hedman, Gunther, Pettersson. You got Gunther before Pettersson? That's wild. Ehlers, Vejmelka, Skinner. 12-man similar to FPPL. Yeah, your team's nasty. How was your D? Hedman, Fox, Parekh, Fowler, Rinzel? Yeah, you're fine. You're chilling. This is a great team. 10-man. Guys, there isn't really much to really change in 10-mans. I don't know why you drafted Slavkovsky, though, in a 10-man. Yeah, I guess it's like late. Line A, you can definitely drop. You're clearly a Habs fan. You have 4 Habs on your team. You can drop Line A. In a 10-man, you could drop Sherwood. Unless hits are... What are hits worth? Yeah, you can drop Sherwood. Actually, you know what? 4 hits in a game is worth a goal or an assist. Maybe you hang on to Sherwood and Bishop. But you can definitely drop Patrick Laine. Do you have a D on your bench? You have Riley. Yeah, I think your defense are really the only concern. Slaff and Laugh are the weakest spots. I can move them for Bennett, Boone, Darlene, Sider, Jones, Riley is a great D stack. Slaff, Laugh, Byfield, Dry. Cool. Yeah, your team's disgusting. You definitely need to improve your goaltending though. So I think you could, find somebody like a Boone Jenner, like a Quinton Byfield, like a Alexis Lafreniere, somebody that like obviously is hot out of the gate already, and see if you can like grab like a true like number 1 volume guy. Not that Montembeault and Skinner aren't true number 1s. They're just not elite. Let me get back to chat. Drop Sandheim for Ekblad. I went there. Start Stoner Velarde tonight. I would go with Mark's Velarde. Raquel over Svech, Lehkonen, Trocheck, or do nothing. I would keep Raquel on your bench. Trade JT for Gensel? No. I think you're fine. I think they're very similar in value. It doesn't really change anything unless you need like a right winger, but I think Gensel's left wing, right wing eligible. Cat Fried Chicken posted his team with no context, but I mean, you have Brady, Connor, Genther, Ehlers, Sider, Yossi, Lacombe, Shabbat, Hurdle, Hintz, Gauthier King. I really like your team. And you have Mark Schembiner, who are 2 like good, solid starters that should win some games. So I really like your guys' team. It's good. The only thing I would really change here, Cat Fried Chicken, is probably need a better 4th D. Like that's the only really thing that you can upgrade. Like your forwards are very good. I like Kane. I like Cutter. Hintz and Hurdle are great value as well. You grab Barzell. Norris is a solid bet this year. You just gotta hope he stays healthy. $12 man, $250 buy-in league. All right, let's lock in here. 2 centers, 2 left wing, 2 right wing, 4D, 2 goalies, 4 bench, 3 goals, 2 assists. Plus minus, God, I would never spend $250 on a buy-in for a league that counts plus minus. I would literally just... That would suck. Shots are 0.4, hits are 0.2, blocks are 0.2. So a hit and a block is worth half of a shot. Wow. Okay, so McKinnon, Bouchard, Forsberg, Yossi's a fantastic start. Nietzsche's round 5 is disgusting. He's your round 6 I like a lot. Saros, you get your goalie round 7. Okay. Kevin Fiala, Mika Zibanejad, Luke Hughes. I love that you went in that direction. He's power play 1 now. Carter Verhaeghe's great in round 11. Swayman's great in round 12. Dostal, you got Kent Johnson there. Matthew Schaefer, Brock. This is a really strong team, Breezy. I'd be very confident. Where you could get into trouble is if Nashville doesn't bounce back. Forsberg's pretty safe. But I think in round 4, like, and again, we could be completely wrong. Yossi still has a little bit of risk associated to him. So I probably would have went a different direction. Like, I don't know, obviously, who's available in round 4, but the only issue where you get into some trouble is if Nashville is exactly what we saw last year. That means Saros is having a shit season. That means Yossi's, probably playing a ton of minutes, and who knows how that will affect his health. Phil is pretty safe across the board. Like, he was fine last year and had a ton of value. But that's really the only thing that I would be concerned about. You can wait on a Schaefer. You can wait on a Kent Johnson and Brock Besser to see how they do. But I would be really confident in the rest of your team. Goaltending gets a little interesting. Wins. Goals against is only -1. Okay, so that's fine. So as long as they don't get blown out, you're good, actually. So I actually now really like your goalies because they get a ton of shots. Like Saros, like all 3 of your goalies are going to get peppered. Saros, Swayman, Dostal. Yeah. I'm very happy with that. Breezy, I just read your team. Let's go back to chat. What's going on? I'm trying to bounce back and forth, guys. I'm trying to give people like equal time here. I'm trying to just, like work through everything, and hopefully I'm doing a good enough job. Rest of season pick 2, Montembeault, Demko, Decord, Greaves. I would go Monty and I would go Demko. Rossi or Norris? I really like Marco Rossi this year. I think Norris has a ton of risk, but on a per game basis, Norris is probably better because he's going to be line 1 and he's going to be power play 1. So it's close. Like, it's very, very close. But I think Rossi is safer. And he's playing with Kaprizov and Boldy at 5-on-5. So for me, even though he's not power play 1 and they kept Tarasenko on there for whatever reason, I'm probably going Rossi. I just think there's better weapons around him. What's your thought process between deciding start bench decisions in Bangers Cats leagues? You really have to look at you got to look at your team, Jordan, and understand where your team is strong and where your opponent is strong. So if I'm going up against a team that has nothing but like bangers and block guys, like block and hit guys, I'm looking at my team. I'm like, can I compete with these guys? Yes or no? If I can compete with them in categories, then I want to try and compete with them and win those categories. And I feel confident I'm going to win those. But if I know that my team is more centered around scoring, then I'm not focused at all about winning on those categories because I built my team in a specific way. So again, when it comes to comparables, it's matchups play a little bit. I like to typically play the players that I drafted higher just because that means logically I'm more confident in them. So it's if I drafted, let's say, for whatever reason, I'm picking between Makar and you should always start Makar, but just for the hypothetical situation of picking between Makar and picking between Adam Fox, Fox might have a better matchup. They might be playing Anaheim, but I'm always picking Makar because he is the higher pick and he's the guy that I have the most confidence in and that I know can go off. If that makes sense. Thanks for answering all the questions. Of course, Willie. That's what I'm here for, man. Playing in the Hockey Nation Live League and your advice really helped me in the draft. I'm glad you first of all got some value out of our content, but I'm glad that you took the effort to comment that. I really appreciate that. Thank you, my friend. Pierre-Luc Dubois, if you're in our Discord, you can throw it in to rate my team. Guys, I will go for another 10 minutes because hockey is going to start, and I do want to watch some of that. I'll try and speed through chat, and then I'll get through as many of these as I possibly can. Trying to send a super chat? Don't worry about it, Silent. You're good, brother. You don't have to worry about that, my friend. I appreciate you. Appreciate you just being here, man. Tampa Bay versus Ottawa, who wins? I have 2 from each team on my roster. Play the better players, Maxwell. It's not about, unless you're talking about strictly goalies, just play the better players. It's not about who wins. It's about who gets you the most points. Yahoo Standard 10 team, pick 2. Dorofeev, Svechnikov, or Hurdle. Dorofeev, Svech. Trying Sanderson, Chucky / Hedman point. I would go Brady, and I'd go Brady over Point, and I'd go Hedman over Sanderson. You should have all 4 of those guys in your team, just so we're clear. Like, there's definitely other players that you should swap out for those guys, but thoughts on Elias Lindholm after his hot start, Cooper? It's 1 game, brother. I hope he pops off. I hope he does well this season. I'm not reacting to anything after 1 game. Thursday in October, and we have hockey, playoff, baseball. Dude, yesterday was insane. Like, I had like 3 monitors set up where I could watch the Jays game and then watch like hockey on top of that. Review the national risk. Yeah, like it's MBV. It's not something that you have to like worry about until it's a thing, right? But just be conscious of like that is kind of the position that you've put yourself in, where it's like, this is the team I'm betting on improving. Reinhardt or Pasta for sure. Solid take on the Cats League. It's exactly what I do as well. Yeah. If you have Jackal, Burb, Dorf, Stone. Is that Jack Eichel? Like Jackal? Burb, Dorf, Stone. I see what you're saying, Anton. Okay, so they're all Vegas players. Yeah. If you have like 5 guys on the same team, will it be okay? Vegas looks like a wagon, first of all, so I wouldn't be too worried. But again, like, use some of their hot start to like trade for players that you didn't get to in drafts that you wanted to. Like, use Stone's hot start. Use Barbashev's, right? Like, the guys that we're really high on that we know are good, like Dorofeev, like Eichel, I'm like, I want to hold on to these guys, but the other ones you can use to kind of leverage and potentially trade for better. Need a D in 10-man, Wallman out. Nathan, I don't know who is on your waiver wire there, brother. Big hockey day, massive hockey day. Have you done any trades yet? Yeah, I traded in FPPL. I traded Mackenzie Blackwood. It was Blackwood, it was Devin Taves, and it was Adrian Kempe, and I got back Fantilli, Montembeault, and Rasmus Dahlin. Got a Discord link? I do, right? There's another Discord link for you. Should I drop Wedgwood to activate Cooley from IR Plus or keep Cooley on IR and play Wedgwood? I would play Wedgwood tonight, BD. Do I trade Fiala for Chychrun? It depends on your defense, Pucks, but I lean Fiala just in terms of value. What D out of Carlson or DeMello hits and blocks? Like Carlson's and John Carlson with a C? Blocks and hits, I'd probably think DeMello. Appreciate you, BD. Thank you for being here, man. Should I drop Kreider for Rossi or Lehkonen? See, that one's tough because I'd probably want Lek. I'd probably want Lek over Kreider. In my 10-man top available is Zadorov, Sandheim, or Ryan McDonough. If you count hits, like Zadorov's great. If not, like if you count shots and blocks, I'd go Sandheim. Don't think I'd grab McDonough. But in a 10-man league, like those are your best D. Like, how deep is your league? Got Markstrom and Freddie tonight. Should I start both of them? I love starting when my goalies play against together. I love starting both of them because I guarantee a win. Start Barbashev over Marchessault tonight in a Cats league, given Barbashev's current deployment. Yeah, that's fine. Vegas is a wagon. Yeah, Nathan, if it's hits and blocks, Zadorov's not a terrible pickup. But I feel like there should be better D available in a 10-man. Should I drop Zane Perek? No. Okay, I'm gonna literally speed run through teams here. So if you posted a team, I'm gonna speed run. I'm gonna take the next 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna go watch some hockey, guys. Okay, so Diamond, you've got Cooch, Eichel, Bouchard, Tage, Yossi, Nietzsche. Your team's disgusting. Your team is literally disgusting. Miro round 10's great. Seth Jones, Morgan Riley. You've got Dostal in the 21st round, which is insane. Your team is disgusting. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna win your league. 12-man head-to-head. Goals 1.5, assists 1.2, power play 0.4, shots, shorthanded points 0.8. Shots are only 0.1. Okay, so it's really scoring heavy, and goalies are important. $12-man league? I'm assuming you took Kaprizov first. You probably went Kaprizov into Gensel. Petter's fine. Werenski's great. Fowler's great. Perek, we're very touch and go right now. I'm holding on him, guys. It's one game. I'm holding on him. We're good. Everybody relax. We're okay. We are okay after one game. If he's healthy scratch for multiple times, I don't know why he's on the roster. Right? Why is he on the team if you're not going to play him? Anyways. Bouchard, Snuggie. I think... Okay, your goalies are like Wolf, Swayman, Greaves are fine. Who's on your bench? Oh my god, you have Kempe here. Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, no, your team's nasty. This is a great team. You got to focus on the guys who are going to get you points and think less about peripherals, right? Because shots are only 0.1, hits and blocks are only 0.2. So in order for you to get like 1 goal or 1 assist, you know, you got to have 5 hits or 5 blocks in a game. And you got to have like 10 shots in a game, right? So you want to focus on guys that are higher scoring and a little bit less on the peripherals, which is great because you have guys like Bouchard, you have guys like Werenski, Meyer, you have Kaprizov on your team, Pettersson, Gensel. You're going to be fine. And your goaltending is strong enough to get you through. I would try to, if Greaves starts hot, I would try to upgrade on Greaves. We'll see what happens tonight against Nashville. And he was great towards the end of last season. But see what happens. Also, make sure that you're starting Dustin Wolf if he plays tonight. If not, I think they're on a back-to-back, so you should be good. Okay, what's next? FPPL settings 12-man. What's up, Biz? Miller, Duchesne, Connor, Jarvis, Kyrou, Besser, Carlson. I'm not a huge fan of Besser, but you have Matthews here. Kuzmenko, like, he's got to be around a point per game, but still, I think, like, with one of your later picks, that's still a good pickup. Your D are kind of weak. Your D are very weak. I would highly recommend trading for a defenseman. McAvoy's pretty much your D1. Yeah, I would try and upgrade Clark or D'Angelo. I would move... See, it's tough because, like, your forwards really aren't that... I would try and move Slav. I'd see if Kuzmenko gets hot, and then you can try and move him. You've got good goalies. So maybe swing a Demko or a Skinner. Oh, but you have Hedman and Hyman. Okay. And Laugh. I didn't see this last one. I still... Okay, that makes me a little bit more confident in your team then. Yeah. And Hyman should be back in November. I think you're honestly in a great spot then. Because you have Matthews, you have Hedman, and then you have like 2 solid like D2, D3 and John Carlson and McAvoy. So I think you're actually in a good spot, Biz. And your goaltending is strong enough. 14-man keeper league banger head-to-head. Goals worth more than assists. Wins worth 5. Goals against -1. So goaltending is crazy valuable here. So I would try and move off Askarov, but like Binnington and Gustafsson are 2 great players. 14-man keeper. You have Bedard, Velarde, Marchenko, Verhaeghe, Cooley. Your team is so nasty for a 14-team league. Holy. Dahlin, Sergachev, Buium, Rinzel is a good enough 4, in my opinion. And you have Gudis. And it's a Cats league. So maybe, because you're so, like, you're pretty strong with, like, Cooley, Dahlin, Gudis. Jeek even, like maybe try and find a guy that's gonna get you like similar point totals with still like some more hits, like maybe move a Velarde or like a Coronado and see if you can grab somebody that's gonna get you some of those more. Oh, it's points. They're 0.5. Shots are only 0.5. Yeah, like go heavy on the guys that are gonna get you a ton of hits. I think that'll help you, even though goals and assists are really heavily weighted. You know, you want the, like, these are the leagues where like Brady is just so valuable, or like Matthews is so valuable, right? And it's like your number one guy on your team is really like Dahlin or Nylander, right? So you're kind of lacking that like big dog. Yeah, I would focus on some peripherals there. Ehlers, Fiala, Gensel, Hughes, Wyatt. This team is so nasty. Why are you posting this? Dunn, Quinn Hughes, Morrissey, Theodore. I would trade a forward like a Barzal, like a Nuge, like a Slav, like a Konechny. Trade one of those like forwards and upgrade Vince Dunn, and you probably win your league, assuming your goaltenders are okay. You have Markstrom and Kochekov. You might need another goalie. 12-team Brodo, goaltenders only contribute 3 out of 10. McDavid, you have McDavid, you win. Nelson, Hurdle, Caulfield, Bratt, Stone, Chushkin, Tuck, Combe, Dursey, Dahlin, Fox. Combe, Dursey, Dahlin, Fox, I think is fine. Your goalies are weak, which is good. You count plus minus, so Tuck might not be as valuable. That's the only thing. 12-man points head-to-head. Kinnan, Zib, Timmy, Panarin, Michkov, Slav. I think you're great across the board. Dahlin, Sanderson, Nikishin, Clark. Probably want a better third D. I'm a little bit hesitant about what Nikishin's role is going to be, but if you're super high on him, fine. And maybe upgrade your goaltending. If it's just points, yeah, see, goals against is -3. So this is pretty simple. This is basically FPPL settings minus the plus minus. So goalies are actually quite valuable, and I mean, you have a lot of solid team. Like Michkov might be a little bit of a concern just because he's on Philly, but it's a strong team either way. 12-man, McMichael, Leonard, or stream player. I can't see this. McKinnon, Fantilli, Meyer, Verhage, Miller, Dorfiev, Sider, Sanderson, Fox, Heiskanen's a great 4D. Perek, it's great to hang on to. Leonard's fine. And your goalies are Montembeault, Kemper. I would probably... Oh, you have Matty Tkachuk here too. Interesting. Go after like a super high-end D. Grab like a Bouchard, grab like a Dahlin. See if you can get like a Quinn Hughes, do like a Heiskanen plus a Matty Tkachuk and see what you can get. Or like try and get like an elite goalie 1-for-1 for Matty Tkachuk. And I think you're in a really good spot because you have McKinnon, Miller, Verhage. Actually, now that I think about it, actually, I would hold Matty Tkachuk here. I think your team becomes really strong if you add him into the mix, especially with Verhage. So your team's solid either way. I wouldn't look to do too much if Leonard and McMichael are stream players. Seth Jones, Ekblad's a free agent. I'd pick up Ekblad. Looking to trade Theodore. Drop Slavkovsky. Yeah, I would pick up Ekblad and have him as a 5th D. Or a 6th D in this case. You have Makar and Quinn Hughes in a league that has 5 D spots and Kaprizov. Okay, no, your team's disgusting. You really don't need to do anything. But I would pick up Ekblad. And I would probably drop like Monahan or Norris. Probably Monahan. Team's nasty. 12 team head-to-head Cats. Larkin, Jarvis, Gensel, Forsberg, Keller, Kempe, Makar. Your team's nasty. Romanov. Okay, hold on. Your D, you have both the Toronto goalies and St. Louis. Makar, Jones, Carlson, Nurse. Your team's nasty. Your team's fine. Should I drop Romanov for Lazon? If you count hits, yes. But if you count hits and blocks, I would probably take Lazon over Romanov. I'm assuming you count hits, and Lazon's going to get you an insane amount of hits. 10-man league. Probably need to upgrade your D. Should I just drop Jeek and hit the waiver wire to get a defenseman? I would try and trade Jeek or trade a Zib or trade a John Tavares because it looks like you have a lot of centers. You have a ton of centers. Trade a center for a defenseman. Total team points. Dry. Yossi's your D1. Sergey's your D2. Mishkov, Cooley in the mid rounds. Bouillon, fantastic. This is a really good draft. Byfield, this is a really good draft. Will Smith, Rinzel, Cutter. I love your draft, dude. Your team's nasty. All right, last one. 14-man. Goals 2, assists 1, power play points, shorthanded points, shots, hits, blocks. Gridden, that's the guy's name, dude. You picked him up. If wins are 4, I probably want to upgrade or add a third goalie. Like, I'm confident that those guys are going to get a ton of volume, but it should be... They're like kind of like... They're kind of like borderline playoff teams. You know, maybe upgrade your goaltending a little bit just because it's worth a ton. Especially shutouts and overtime losses, which both teams could see a lot of those. Shots are 0.5, blocks are 0.5. You just picked up Gridden just for the sake of it. I kind of love that. William Harley, Quinn Hughes, your D is very good. You have Snuggie. Okay, guys, that will do it. I'm gonna run through some comments, but that will do it. Just to finish things up here. What do you watch your hockey on? I have cable. And if not, I just illegally stream it. I mean, I don't illegally stream it. I legitimately watch it. I haven't looked, I'm just going to have like as many games up as I possibly can. Hurdle or Lek to play tonight, or Landeskog. Hurdle. Already realizing that I need to be in private leagues with better scoring categories. Live and learn. It is what it is. Most of my attention will be on. Appreciate. The guys, thank you so much. Appreciate all of you. I'm going to try to do more of these this year, especially as we get deeper in the season. We'll get a better understanding of who's where. But thank you for chilling. Leave a like if you enjoyed the content, as always. I will see you guys soon with... We've got some content planned out for early week 1. But look forward to some new formatted in-season videos for this year. So hopefully you guys enjoy. But thank you for chilling. Appreciate all of you.